Welcome back, everybody, and good morning. Today is March 26, 2023, and directly behind me, the Elvis Honeymoon house. Thought I'd stop by here, show some updates of what's going on. The person that just bought this house bought it, I believe, about a year and a half ago for $4.5 million. But it looks like they bought the other two houses and where the tennis court was, the famous tennis court as well, and that's been torn down. Let me show you. Okay, so on this quiet cul-de-sac, over here was where the tennis courts were originally, and it looks like the new property owner that repainted the Elvis house, and it's nice to see that they have the fountain working. That's actually the honeymoon bedroom. This is where, after Elvis and Priscilla got married, they came here, and it said exactly 9 months afterwards, Lisa Marie was born. This is also denoted right here that this is Robert Alexander house, and the Alexanders unfortunately died in a plane crash, and that's why this house was available. Now, Elvis never owned this house, but he did stay here for a year, and I believe the rent was $12,000 for the year at that time. But as you can see over here, they've also leveled this place. This is another house that looks like they're adding something on, maybe a pool. I know there is a pool in the backyard. Straight through here, I'll show some pictures. It's the famous pictures of Elvis and Priscilla sitting against the rock wall. Elvis carried Priscilla up these stairs, singing songs from Blue Hawaii when they were married. But just to show you the fountain too, it's nice to see that this thing is running. So awesome. Oh yeah, it does look like they're putting a pool in here. I'll show you over here. You can kind of take a peek. So maybe they're gonna make this another property or another house. I'm not gonna go and bother these folks, but if you can kind of see the doors there, these doors open all the way, and the door handles actually have zodiac signs when you turn them. Another thing about this house, when Elvis was getting married, they were trying to keep it hushed, and Hedda Hopper, which would have been the TMZ of that time, found out, and Frank Sinatra, a pal of Elvis's, did not care for Hedda at all. And so behind here, the pool went directly, and there was no house back there at that time. They just recently built the house. It said that Sinatra found out that she was trying to get the scoop, that Elvis was getting married and trying to get photos and things like that. And Sinatra arranged for Elvis and Priscilla to go through the backyard, directly through the bushes, and there's another street over there, and that's where Sinatra had a car waiting for Elvis and Priscilla to sneak out, and had his plane ready to go, and flew Priscilla and Elvis to Las Vegas to get married. So right now I was thinking maybe we'll go over to Elvis's house that he owned out here called Graceland West. So one more thing, let's just see what the placard says. This was dubbed the House of Tomorrow, William Kreisel. Built 1960, renovated 2022. So yes, that is a new placard. City of Palm Springs, Class 1 Historic Resolution Number, September 21st, 2021. All right, let's go.
So real quick, I just want to give an overview of the outside, the inside. This is before it was redone, or while it was being redone, and I was able to go inside. There's the brick wall, and it'll show the fireplace that was well before its time, the kitchen with the barbecue, also the double ovens next to each other. This was the pool being redone since they did sell the house behind it. Also, I wanted to show something from the Shag store depicting the house right down there on Palm Springs Boulevard. That's the view from Elvis's bedroom. There's obviously Priscilla and Elvis after their wedding days, enjoying time by the pool and just hanging out in the backyard. And here's Priscilla in the bedroom, the main bedroom. I also was able to get drone footage, so I just wanted to share with you too. This is what it looked like before it was just done. Obviously, it's a different color now. This house had no installation. This was just a model home. Bear that in mind. So when Elvis was there, actually I was incorrect. It was not $12,000 that he paid for the year. It was $21,000. So it was quite the amount back in the day. And there's the pool. The house behind there is where he left when I stated earlier. Frank Sinatra had him go for his wedding day, flew him out to Las Vegas, and then they came back later that night. So, yep, this is what it used to look like. Also, those are the steps, once again, that he carried up his new bride, Priscilla. And here are the doors with the symbols on them. And that's the bed that I just showed you that Priscilla was laying on. So it was still pretty original up until just recently. And then, you know, Lisa Marie was born 9 months later after them staying at the honeymoon house. Still an amazing house. Still just something before its time. Really space age looking. I thought it was very cool. So I hope you enjoyed checking it out as well. The carport was off to the side, and you can come down from the bedroom. It was almost like a maze in the house when I went through it, which was kind of cool. So just another picture of the insides. There's the rock wall with Elvis where he was sitting behind. They used to give tours, but now it's independently owned. And there they are sitting against the rock wall, which is very cool. The other thing this video shows that's really cool is here's the kitchen as well. And the kitchen was pretty interesting. You would step up into the kitchen and it had all the burners. But then in the middle of it too, with the huge vent, there was a charcoal barbecue grill that was actually inside the kitchen. And I believe that is still there. Those were the tennis courts that have now been demolished. And I'm not sure what they're going to do, but I will be doing an update just to kind of show what's changing on the house and what they plan to do with that cul-de-sac. I mean, maybe they're going to open it in the future. Who knows? But this was the property where Elvis was at for over a year after he got married to Priscilla. And all this stuff was put in there afterwards for the tour. They kind of just showed this just so it would be more exciting. There was his bathtub. And once again, the front of the house facing out down the street of the bungalow.
Okay, directly behind me, we have made it to house number 2. This would be the Graceland West House where Elvis lived. Him and Priscilla for a couple years until they got divorced. This is one of the houses that Elvis kept. I believe he only owned 3 houses. Graceland, I'm not sure where the other one was, and this one too. But this is where he'd have crazy parties. Sinatra would be up here. Liberace would be up here. So, I'll show you a few things about it and take a look around. Oh yeah, another note. This house is only about, whoa, crazy planes. This house is only about half a mile from the honeymoon house. If you ever want to come up here, I believe it's 845 West Street. Nobody comes to this house. They all go to the honeymoon house. But yeah, you can go to the actual Elvis house. All right, so as we walk up to this house is actually pretty big. It goes all the way in the back. There was actually, Elvis had his jungle room here as well. And it's been owned by quite a few people, a few of the famous people. Carl Karcher from Carl's Jr. owned this house for a while. A Japanese businessman owned it, but what was said that the Japanese businessman was scared of flying, so he never visited this place. There's the front door. Elvis did record a couple albums here, and I do not believe anybody lives here now. So this goes around to the backyard. In the backyard, there's a pool, a huge overlook of the city of Palm Springs. And that is where it was said to be and documented that Robert Goulet, someone that Elvis did not care for, actually shot out the TV here in the backyard. And that is documented by the TV repairman right down the street on the main drag. So let's walk around and see what we can see around the backside real quick. Beautiful day out here, about 70 degrees. Great day to go sightseeing. As we walk down by the garage, I can actually hear the echo off everything, so I don't believe anybody's here. And you can see it's quite overgrown over here. But yeah, Elvis would have all his buddies over here, the Memphis Mafia, and they had a game room in the back over here by the pool. But one of the cool things too is, I'm not sure if that's the hot tub, but Elvis did have a hot tub here. And once again, the name Hedda Hopper comes up, the TMZ lady of those times. she would actually have people fly over and try and take pictures to see who Elvis was with, what new starlet he was dating at the time. So Elvis found out about that and actually put a cover over the hot tub. All the way in the back over here, that was Elvis's room right there. And it had been opened in the past, but I don't think they have had people here for quite some time, which is a shame. Not much to see over here. It looks pretty plain too for someone of his caliber. And that's what's left of the snow on the mountains. But anyways, the Elvis house.
Well, hello everybody, I'm Huell Hauser. Get ready for an adventure and a rock and roll home tour. Now let's set things up. We're in beautiful Palm Springs, lots of beautiful homes here. We're in the northern part of Palm Springs in a neighborhood called Little Tuscany. And we are standing in front of this beautiful home. You got Mount San Jacinto off in the distance. This home is very historic. It's very important because who used to own it and who used to live here. But as far as I'm concerned, the real story is not, well, at least part of the story is not who just used to own it and live here, but who owns it and lives here now.
Well, once again, as always, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Please subscribe. Something's been going on with YouTube. I don't know, where the numbers have been messed up or changing. But I do appreciate it if you have subscribed. I got plenty of other videos on this channel. And if there's something you'd like to see or somebody you'd like to know about, let me know. Drop it in the messages and I'll check it out. See you next time.